Imagine this. The stock market had a phenomenal run. Most investors looked at their accounts and saw green, feeling like they'd finally mastered the game. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Most of those investors actually underperformed the very market they were trying to beat. There is a massive gap between what the market returns and what the average human actually keeps. That gap isn't caused by taxes or bank fees. It's a behavioral tax we pay for being human. Today, I'm decoding the 3 psychological glitches that are draining your bank account right now. And I'll show you how a 92-year-old janitor used a simple mental shield to turn a modest salary into an $8 million fortune. Glitch number 1, the pain of letting go. In financial terms, this is called loss aversion. Researchers Daniel Kahneman and Amos Tversky, whose work on loss aversion led to Kahneman's 2002 Nobel Prize, showed that losses are felt approximately 1.5 to 2.5 times more intensely than equivalent gains. Our brains are hardwired to protect us from pain, which makes sense if you're running from a lion, but it's a disaster for your retirement. Think about that expensive gadget sitting in your drawer that you barely use. You spent $500 on it, and now it's worth maybe $150. You haven't sold it because you tell yourself, maybe I'll use it eventually. You're holding on to it just so you don't have to admit you wasted money. Meanwhile, that $150 could be helping you today. A simple mental shift to overcome loss aversion is to stop focusing on the cost of the past and start asking what it's actually worth to you today. Glitch number 2, mental accounting. This is one of the most subtle ways we sabotage our wealth because it feels so natural, almost like a reward system. This concept was pioneered by Nobel Prize winner Richard Thaler. He discovered a fascinating, yet expensive flaw in human logic. We don't treat all money as equal. Instead, we subconsciously sort our money into mental folders or buckets based on where it came from and how we intended to use it. Think of it like this. Your brain has a serious folder for your hard-earned monthly salary. That's the money you use for rent, groceries, and investments. You're stingy with that money. But then, your brain has a fun folder. This is where you put tax refunds, year-end bonuses, or even a cash gift from a relative. Because this money feels extra, you become incredibly reckless with it. From a mathematical standpoint, every dollar is identical. A $100 note from your boss has the exact same purchasing power as a $100 note you found in a birthday card, but your brain refuses to see it that way. Let's look at a classic example. Imagine you're cleaning out your closet and you find a $50 note tucked away in the pocket of an old pair of jeans. It's a great feeling, right? Now ask yourself, what is the first thing you think about doing with that money? Most of us immediately think, sweet, free lunch, or I'm going to buy that gadget I've been eyeing. We treat it like found money, essentially play money that doesn't count toward our real lives. But here is the reality check. If you had been $50 short on your car insurance that morning, you would have been stressed out. You would have valued that $50 immensely. The moment you found it in your jeans, its value didn't change, but your perception of it did. We spend found money on things we would never dream of buying with our hard-earned salary. I want you to perform a quick mental audit of the last 6 months. Think about your easy money moments, the tax refunds, the cashback rewards from your bank, or that small bonus. Did that money go toward your bond or your savings? Or did it mysteriously disappear on dinners, clothes, or small luxuries? If you treated that money differently than your primary paycheck, you've been paying the mental accounting tax. The secret to beating this is a concept called fungibility. It's a fancy word that simply means every dollar is interchangeable. To master this, you need to implement the 24-hour cooling off rule. When unexpected money hits your account, do nothing. Don't even look at the menu of your favorite restaurant. Let the dopamine hit of unexpected money fade away. Wait 24 hours until the excitement settles. This allows you to move that money from your fun folder back into your salary brain. Once you're thinking clearly, you'll realize that unexpected money is actually just capital. And capital is the fuel that builds your freedom. Finally, we come to the most dangerous glitch of all, the one that has wiped out more wealth than any market crash in history. Glitch number 3, the herd instinct. To understand why we do this, we have to look back 10,000 years. For our ancestors, following the tribe wasn't a choice, it was a survival requirement. If you saw the rest of your tribe suddenly sprint away from a patch of tall grass, you didn't stop to ask for a statistical analysis of the danger. You ran. If you didn't, you were eaten. This deep-seated biological drive, the need to stay with the herd, is hardwired into your DNA. But here is the problem. What kept you alive in the past will keep you broke on the stock market. In the modern financial world, your survival instinct has become a wealth killer. When you see a massive group of people moving in one direction, your brain releases a chemical cocktail of dopamine and cortisol. It's a mix of "I want that reward" and "I am terrified of being left behind." This is what we commonly call FOMO, or the fear of missing out. But it's actually just your ancient brain trying to keep you in the tribe. We see this play out everywhere. You're at work and a co-worker starts bragging about a hot new tech stock or a crypto coin that just doubled in price. Suddenly, everyone else is nodding, talking about how much they've made. Even if you're a rational person, you start to feel a physical itch. You feel like everyone has a secret that you don't. Driven by this herd instinct, you pull out your phone and buy in right then and there. But here is the irony. By the time the herd is talking about it, the smart money, the institutional investors who understand the cycle, is already selling and moving on. You've bought at the peak. Then, a month later, the price dips. The news headlines turn negative. Your friends start talking about getting out before it hits zero. And the herd panics. To stay with the tribe, you sell at the bottom, locking in a massive loss just because everyone else is doing it. It's time for an honest audit. Go back through your transaction history from the last year. How many of those buy orders were based on a spreadsheet or a long-term plan? And how many were based on a trending post on social media or a conversation with a friend? If your primary reason for buying was because it was trending, you weren't investing. You were herding. You were acting on instinct, not strategy. The only way to beat a biological instinct is to remove the human element entirely. We use what behavioral economists call smart nudges. Instead of deciding when to invest every month, which gives your herd brain a chance to hijack the process, you must automate the discipline. Set up a recurring debit order that buys your chosen index fund or ETF on the same day every single month, regardless of the price. Whether the news is screaming about a crash or your friends are shouting about a moonshot, your system does not care. By removing the decision, you effectively remove the herd from your financial life. You stop being a follower and you start becoming a master of your own wealth. I couldn't publish this video without mentioning a man that embodies everything that I spoke about in this video. Ronald Read, the janitor who left millions to his local library. He wasn't a stock picker. He was a behavioral master. He understood that wealth isn't about what you know, it's about how you behave. As author Morgan Housel says, "More than I want big returns, I want to be financially unbreakable." Behavioral finance isn't about becoming a robot. It's about building a system that survives your humanity. If you're ready to start decoding your behavior and building real wealth, hit that subscribe button. Stop fighting the market and start mastering your mind. I'll see you in the next one.